wanted to talk about something that, man, I can't believe it happened. I'm a little nervous because we haven't really got a lot of info on it. But Kevin Hart was in a car crash. A lot of you guys, I'm sure you know who Kevin Hart is.
Probably heard of it.
You've probably heard of Kevin Hart. He was actually in a really bad car accident. I saw photos of it, and I'm shocked.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see photos?
I didn't see the photos. I saw that he was in a crash.
It was really bad. The car is trash. Like, I don't even know how the three of them, like, I don't know how one person is not dead. Now,
that's insane.
Yeah,
that's so scary.
The driver, Kevin was not the driver. Apparently it was his friend. I'm not sure his friend's name. His friend's like 28 years old. They're driving a Plymouth Barracuda. It's like an old classic muscle car, right? And unfortunately, I guess he just lost control of the vehicle. Apparently, Kevin Hart has major back injuries. That's literally the only details we have right now. I'm really not sure what that means, but that's not good. Major back injuries. I mean, that could be a lifetime of pain and you know, I don't know. Hopefully he's okay. You know, I'm really not sure. Apparently there was a third passenger, a female passenger, and she walked away. She's seeking her own medical attention. She was fine, but she was actually pinned in the car, and they had to cut the roof off of the car to get them out. And she still walked away just fine. So apparently it was the driver's wife, and that was the third passenger. So pretty crazy news.
Scary.
It's scary,
yeah,
man.
Right?
I mean, here's why I wanted to talk about it. I think it's because, you know, I mean, I think a lot of people follow Kevin Hart. We watch his movies. We see, you know, he's a superstar. He's on top of the world. He's just an absolute rock star. You know, one of the most famous comedians in the world, maybe one of the most famous comedians ever at this point, just because of social media and his push, you know. But he from on top of the world to now, I mean, potentially life-threatening injuries. Like major back injuries. Just hopefully he's going to be okay. I mean, it's ridiculous. So
yeah. Wish him the best.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's scary. I don't like. Here's the thing, man. Like they're driving this old Plymouth Barracuda, which is like I'm sure you've seen one of those cars. You know, you're from Detroit. You've seen a Barracuda driving around. Maybe if you haven't even thought about it or you know realized it
potentially. But
man, these vehicles they're huge. They're heavy. They're old. They don't have like you know today's technology built into them. You know, like those things are dangerous to drive, man. And I just people get behind the wheel of these vehicles, and I feel like some people just don't know how to control them, or they just I don't know, man. It's scary shit.
Dude,
cars are death traps.
And that's dude, I got some friends who drive bikes, motorcycles.
Yeah,
and that scares the death out of me.
Yeah.
Like it's not even I'm worried about them driving or them driving like jerks, but it's like you got to drive so defensive. You know, you got to be worried about everyone else on the road. It could happen to anyone, and it's just scary.
I say that I tell everybody that buys a bike or thinking about buying a bike. I'm like, you have to be such a defensive rider. Like, if you're an offensive rider on a motorcycle, you're gonna get yourself killed. Yeah, people do not look out for you. People don't expect motorcycles, especially it depends on where you live. You know, California, a little bit more, you know, common.
A little more aware.
Yeah, a little bit more aware. You know, motorcycles are always zipping up and down lanes in you know, in between lanes and the highways and stuff. But you have to be defensive. You really, really do. I've actually wanted a street bike for a really long time. I grew up riding dirt bikes. A lot of people don't know that, but I grew up riding dirt bikes. And so I've always wanted a street bike. Like, I really do. But Steph was like, if you get a street bike, I get a street bike. And she's never even ridden a bike in her life. Yeah. Like, obviously a normal bike, like a bicycle, but never like a motorbike. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't trust the people around you, so I don't want you on a bike. Like, I'm so afraid of all the other asshole drivers that I just would never put her in that position. So I'm like, okay, fine, I won't get a bike. So I'm not getting a bike at the end of the day.
That's for the best. Thank you. That makes me feel a little bit better.
It's probably for the best, you know. But I'm even in my car, I feel like I'm a pretty defensive driver, like at all times. So I don't know. But it is scary. So I wanted to start. I felt like that was something we could talk about a little bit because I know, you know, a lot of people. I feel like especially in this day and age, you know, with texting and driving, everyone feels like they're invincible, dude.
Don't do it.
You're not invincible. It's just like that. Your life can change. Cars are scary. They're dangerous. You're driving a hunk of metal that's basically a murder weapon. You could kill anyone at any time with it. It's terrifying. So be safe. Make good decisions. Don't be a dummy.
Treat it as such. Yeah. Thank you. You know what? Good PSA to start the podcast.
Yeah. So, you know, I just felt like, Shoot, if it can happen to people like Kevin Hart and his friends, it literally can happen to anyone. It does not matter who you are.
Anyone.
Doesn't matter.